I was born October 12th, 2002, to a family of now five. Yup, I'm the middle child. We immigrated to Canada around the summer of 2006. I remember the night. We were doing some last minute packing before heading out to Bangalore Airport on our way to Canada. All I could remember was being excited, going into a new country with a new setting, a new house, a new way of life, a new everything. Little did I know the seriousness of what was going to happen and how it would change me. When we landed at the Toronto Pearson International Airport, we made our way to a city about 15 minutes from downtown called North York. It was a place where many immigrants would stay because of the high levels of racial diversity found there and was the best option for us. Considering we did not know many people, the apartment was lively. So many different races of people, all under the same building. It was amazing. At first, it started with a little teasing about my culture. Considering the majority of the school were immigrants, accents were somewhat common, but still frowned upon. In an effort for the school to try and change the way kids speak, they told my parents not to talk to us in Urdu, my mother tongue, but to speak to us in English. I didn't think much of it at first, but eventually I found myself not being able to converse in my own language anymore. Eventually, the accent faded away, and I wasn't teased about it anymore. Things changed when we moved to Milton. Occasionally, when I told people that I was from India and I'm a Muslim, I was always asked, "Hey, where's your turban?" I knew it was a joke, so I went along with it. But sometimes I was confused to think, why do people automatically assume things about you based on what you look and what background you're from? I was about 13 at the time. Once again, I was excited but sad I'd have to leave all my friends that I knew for generally all my life into a new surrounding and a new environment. Unlike North York, Milton did not have the type of racial diversity that North York had. I tried my best to not let it affect me, but when I got there, I was an outcast. Everyone had their own friend groups. I didn't know where I belonged. So just like anyone else would do in my position, I tried everything I did to fit in. The way I talked coming from North York was different. I used words such as a lie, hug it, and fam. They seem to make people think I'm not a fob, meaning fresh off the boat, a term used to make fun of someone who is new to a country. So I started using words like that so often that I found that I couldn't control myself anymore. That they would come out and it was normal for me. I even stopped telling people I was Indian. I was ashamed every time I told someone my background because I was immediately made fun of. I started making fun of my culture as well whenever my friends pointed it out in an attempt to fit in. Think of it as this. You work at a market and have to arrange these apples. In a pile of the apples there are a couple spotted apples. So you find a way to hide the spots and place them on the shelf. I did everything I can do to hide the fact that I was different or spotted, so others wouldn't think I was different to them. That's how it was like up until halfway through grade 11. I was in many different friend groups. I tried hanging with the more white people so I wasn't made fun of. But they made the same jokes everyone else did. The time that affected me the most was when I was in my friend's car and his dad said, "Hey, you're Indian, right? Does that mean you guys wear turbans and are terrorists?" Followed by, "Do you guys take a shit on the side of the road, on the streets?" Leading to the fact that millions of people in India suffering from poverty don't have enough money to afford a house, causing them to urinate and excrete waste on the roads or near garbage dumps. And that the people in India, they assume that they're all Sikhs and wear turbans, and they associate that with being a terrorist. I laughed it off at first, but didn't understand why some people thought this about Indian Muslims. I thought they were joking until my friend questioned me to ask if I've ever done these things. They truly believe that all Indians are poor, dark-skinned individuals who are only good for working with computers or tech support. This is because they grew up with a stigma. A stigma is a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. They didn't set easy with me. I never understood why people had these preconceived thoughts about me before I could even meet them. Continued on for a long time. I asked about how many siblings I had, and I would reply with 2. I immediately got a response like, "Wow, that's small for a brown person. Don't you guys usually produce many?" Learn to the stigma that brown people have many kids so they can collect their money for them. I would also experience this when I went out. I'd go to the mall and how clerks would stare and think I was stealing. Or how sometimes people would talk to me with different attitudes and rudeness, but the same people would show respect when speaking to my other friends. I never knew why racism still existed. People thought after they abolished slavery and black and white people had equal rights, it would end. But now it's evident in the slightest ways through people's looks and the way you are treated. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is bad and racist. Some of my closest friends who helped me through this time were white. It would be wrong of me to believe in the stigma that all white people are racist. When I talked about this with one of my friends, he said, "There's nothing you can do about it. You're brown, so what? Just hug it." Meaning embrace it. And that's when things changed. I realized that I shouldn't be afraid to embrace who I am and how I talk. My skin color is my skin color. I can't change it and I don't want to. I recall that in grade 5, when we had an author come to our school and talk about her journey as an immigrant and how she tried everything to change her skin tone. She would go home and scrub herself trying to wash the skin color like it was dirt on her body. But she embraced it and was confident in herself. This story, after 5 to 6 years, related with me and my situation. So I told myself again that I should embrace myself and not try to change, not try to please others. For once, I was happy with my color of my skin. I did not need anyone else's approval. I wouldn't care if I was called a fob or if people gave me racial slurs. I would laugh it off and educate them because most of the time, people do not know the truth. Realizing that I should be proud of my culture was one of the best things that could have happened for me. It made me more confident in outgoing. The motto I lived by was, if something happens in my life that I have no control over, I should just hug it and make the best of the situation. The message that I have for kids who are facing similar situations is that don't let other people's thoughts affect you and what you believe in. Embrace yourself and the situation that you're in. Don't try to change yourself so other people can like you more. Be proud of your heritage. It makes us unique.